Hey everybody, it's the Mad Master here, and this is the 1,000th video on this channel. Now, I never thought I would get to 1,000 videos on here, but wow, here we are, And I also have gotten to my 500 subscriber finally too. It took me a long time, and I don't know if that's going to go back to $4.99 because some of these things, just like I don't know what they do with the numbers, but yeah, it's cool. It's cool to have at least like that means like every 2 videos I have a sub, but one sub. I do wish things were more popular than I do, but I don't really. I think I realize like with certain things in my life, I have not put as much work in certain aspects of it that I probably should, and I probably will start doing that more for certain things, but I don't know if it's out of a lot of different reasons, but I'm trying to get over those reasons and get into myself and why. I'm not going to say I sabotage myself, but I definitely, things don't help, things that are simple that I could do sometimes too, like as dorky as it sounds. I mean, I know this doesn't look good right here. Well, that's my new lease that I have to sign for my apartment. As dorky as it sounds, keeping my apartment clean, just simple stuff like that, has eluded me sometimes, so my mind is going a million miles per hour every minute, every second of the day. I have a lot of ideas, and I've had a lot of ideas for this channel too. I have a lot of concepts I want to do. I know I've done a lot of political videos the last few years. I've always done political videos. I mean, I was doing political videos on my Mad Warrior 777 channel, which turns out was the original Mad Master channel, because I was posting that and music and trying to mix it together, and then I decided, no, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm just going to post music on that one. This one would be the political stuff. But I started out influenced by people like Amazing Atheists, and some of that Gamergate stuff was kind of an influence at first. I started paying attention to social justice warriors and blah blah blah, it was like, and feminism and stuff, because honestly, like, some of the stuff that came out almost, pales in comparison to what's out there now, as far as how crazy things have gotten with some of these political ideas and situations. Now, that doesn't mean like whatever, it just means that people were wrong, that were calling me like questioning my view on this stuff, because a lot of this stuff was seen as like fringe. But now it's not. You have these different things, these different socially constructed, supposedly ideas, or these ideas are socially constructed. Sometimes it's coming from a good place, sometimes it's not. So I've talked a lot about politics on the channel. I have music, analysis and stuff like that. I want to do a lot more stuff though with this channel. I promise that at this point, I will try to do a lot more and be more consistent with my work. Because the problem is I know what my limitations are as a person, as far as what my limits are, what I've reached in my life in certain situations. The naivete that I have sometimes about things going a certain direction with things without a lot of hard work put into it. Say like the idea that I can go out, like, let's just say, go out to a bar every 3 months and get a girlfriend or something, like once, that one time, magically will happen, or going out on the street and hitting on a woman on the street like every 2 years or something. And I'm exaggerating, that's not how bad it has been, but it's not, this consistency is not my forte some of the time, and persistence and less hard work, because I slack and I do stupid stuff sometimes that is just not beneficial. But nevertheless, I've kept a thread going, at least. I feel like I've kept something going. I still have my podcasts up. I still have my blog from 2010 that's still up, Mad Warriors Metal Madness, even though I didn't put my podcast and the blog together, even though it's the same thing, which I should. I still have this channel, and I still have a lot of things I'm doing, a lot of ideas that I have. So, I mean, most ideas that I do that I have do come to fruition eventually. I mean, take this album I've been recording, which I'm still mixed on some of the mixes and masters, and I'm just figuring out what the hell I'm going to do. I'm just probably going to release it as is once it's done, like as far as like the mixing and from this one dude. And I'm not totally happy with anything that, it's like one step forward, two steps back with a lot of stuff like that. You're just never happy. And I probably will never be completely happy with this release either. But after this release, this is kind of unrelated, but it's tangential. After this release with my project, I'm going to start looking for musicians. And I know I'm already in a band, and you should focus on your one band. Yeah, and I'm doing that band, but if there are enough people interested in the material that I've had, which is pretty pronounced at this point. I mean, it's like 27 songs or something. And some of them are varying quality, though, of course. But maybe not 27. It was 14. It's probably somewhere around there. If people aren't interested in the material, then so be it. But I want to try to find more musicians to play that stuff, and it'll be a Darwinistic thing between the two bands. If I get more members for that and it's more popular and people like the material, whatever, then they play live and they play live, whichever. I don't want to quit either one, but we'll see what happens, So that's one thing, that's one goal I have. So once this album's done, which is, it's never going to be done because the way it was recorded, I'm not going to re-record it. Just a lot of situations have happened that cause things to be the case with this situation. But if one band wins out, then one band wins out, whichever band wins out. I would rather be full throttle into my original material at some point, my original material, because I'm a dictator. Who's your favorite dictator? Me. It was a pickup line with me and my friend tried years ago. It's really silly, but anyways, who's your favorite dictator? I like Hitler. But anyway, I just find it funny. But anyways, I don't want to be a dictator in a band, but I'm just saying, like, if people, I want to do this style of music that I've done with my project, full throttle, so that's one thing. This channel, though, back to, or I'm going to talk about my other projects too. I have short stories that I'm going to be releasing, like 3 short stories. I want to publish it. I want to figure out how to get stuff published, like on demand, because I have another book that I was working on too, with the assistance of certain artificially intelligent things, but at least in that case. But anyways, I have a lot of ideas that just come to me every day, for comedy, for movies, even books, philosophical ideas, inventions. Like when I was a kid, I wanted to be a scientist and inventor. Sometimes I think about inventions and stuff too, but I have so many ideas. It's sick. I wish I was independently wealthy so I could just pursue all my projects. I have this website I still have up that's a dating site that I still need to fix. Still gonna do that app too. With my friend, I was going to do it, but I have I just have so many things in the pipeline too, and for this channel as well. I have a lot of ideas. I have some thumbnails that I've had made, over the months of the last couple of years. I haven't done the video yet, and they're not like time stamped. Like some of the videos are just more general, to be not like, a year passes and it's already like out of date or something like that. I'm sure there's a couple like that, but most of them aren't like that. And I want to do some more produced stuff. I'm thinking about documentaries and stuff. Figure out what I want to do. I mean, I could probably do some. Honestly, I have some ideas of some technology that I can use to further some of these goals too, even on this channel. So I take classes all the time on Udemy and Coursera and stuff, and I pay attention to a lot of stuff that's happening now. And a lot of people hate artificial, like, for example, let's just give, a lot of people hate technology or artificial intelligence or apps or a lot of people are scared of some of that stuff. I'm just like, well, if it gets my point across, if it gets my vision across, I don't care, It's like people being scared of drum machines or anything like that. So I'm going to continue this forward. So, but yeah, I'm very happy having 500 subs, even though that could change because I don't know how they count that. But sometimes people hide the profiles get weird. But as of right now, today I have 500, and I have 1,000 videos. This is crazy. And I don't know if I mentioned this before, but yeah, my original channel was Matt Warrior 777, and I had early videos about social justice warriors and feminism and all this stuff from back in 2010, 2011, 2012, and Christianity. And I was, I know of someone who was, I know someone that is a Christian, and it was kind of these debates that we'd have, and then I do a video about it, stuff like that. And I'm not like anti-Christian as I used to be, even though I'm wearing a black belt shirt right now. But I don't hate Christianity like I used to. That doesn't mean I'm a Christian, though, of course. But I could see the value for some people how it has, and some valuable things in the whole lore of the whole thing. It has some decent things in it, more esoteric things, of course, that I think are associated with it that I like. Just like, Judaism with the Kabbalah and stuff like that, for example, just as an analogous example. But yeah, there's 1,000 videos, tons of ideas, tons of things I write down. So what I do is I'm at work or wherever, usually just at work, because this is just where things have happened. Or sometimes, I'll be walking down the street and I'll come up with an idea. I'll have to text myself like a joke or something. I have to text myself the joke. I don't have paper, but usually I have paper at work. So I write down all these ideas. I have notebooks full of stuff of various ideas, that I want to pursue in life, just all these goals and stuff. It's just crazy. It's insane. And I don't know how much will come to fruition, but to give an example, there's riffs on my new album that were written when I was 15 years old. I mean, do the math. That old, really. In fact, there's this new song I was working on that I realized one of these older riffs from when I was like 14 or 15 may fit like doing an ending of the song that I was working on. I'm probably gonna, actually that's a good idea. I'll probably hook up my rig to or get my guitar stuff hooked up and play the riff on my computer so I can get that sealed on there. But yeah, so that's basically how it goes with the process, creative process. I'm, always creating, always, plotting. Some of these ideas go back years, decade or more. Sometimes in my life, like there's been stuff that goes back a long ways, like some of my creative ideas that I've done. And I'm not going to compare myself to anybody, but it sounds really kind of weird, but I'm gonna say this. Glenn Danzig will talk about something, let's say in 1988, and he did it in 2018. You got to hand it to him about like a movie anthology, for example. He used to talk about that in the 80s. People talk about, their projects. I don't want it to be like Chinese Democracy, some of these, albums that take decades to release, stuff like that. But when people have an idea, and sometimes they take a while to do it. The Elvis Covers album, another example. I think he talked about that back in the day. So it's like, I look up to that consistency. It's late, it's later, but he did it, Just like I'm gonna try to do everything I've ever planned. When I was first like digging up some of my comedy stuff, my open mic stuff, some of it was from like 2012, 2011. I'm like, oh man, I could never say that on stage now. But I took some of the ideas and I put them, in there, and I adapted them for the modern thing. I'm not saying like, well, I'm just saying there's a couple of things that I probably can't say now, for real. And I would say it if I had more authority, like if I had a following or something, or I was always doing comedy every week or something and had people into me, I would probably dig up some of the more really inappropriate stuff. But yeah, I'm not gonna stop any of my projects or any of my goals or aspirations, and it's a little bit scary because some of these things are so old and some of these ideas are so antiquated in a certain way. Why don't I just move on to a new project, or something? I don't know. I just want to get stuff done that I've planned on doing. Oh, maybe you should try this, or you're at this stage of your life, so you should do this. It's just like all that kind of crap. I just don't like that. And I realized it's kind of weird thinking about some of these things now, because just seeing other people where they've gone in life, in certain areas of my life, I'll be honest, I'm very behind. I'm just gonna say I'm behind for various reasons. I might do some more videos on that in the future. There are some things that have happened to me that have caused some things that have occurred, or not things to occur, or made excuses easy, at least. But yeah, I feel like I am super behind in certain areas, and I am. I'm very behind, whatever you want to call that, and that's fine, because like with my projects I talk about, I'm still going to do all the stuff I planned on doing. I don't really care what people think about it. Like, for example, like if I ever actually want to have children, if I'm 55 and I have a child, I mean, as controversial as it is, and it happens to work, then it works. I'm not 50. I'm not even close to 50, but I'm just saying, I mean, not yet, but it's a weird situation. It's a weird dynamic that I have to live in, because a lot of things have occurred and I've been left behind. And the more behind I got, even more behind I got. And I'm not going to judge, but I'm not going to judge it from other people. I'm going to judge it from myself. What do I think I should be doing? That's what I should do. But yeah, it's just a little honest admission of my feelings, since I'm a sensitive guy, like Rufus McDoofus, my character. I might actually do more stuff with him too, because I have a lot of ideas about that. So this like ultra NPC character, quote unquote. Like, it's not coming from a right-wing perspective per se. It's coming from a old school left-wing thing and maybe a little bit of right-wing things like mixed together, like attacking like the modern left or liberal, if you want to call it that. And I hate those concepts and terms, and I hate labels. That's why I do the character in a way, because I hate labels so much. So, but anyways, this is a thank you to everybody that subscribed to this channel. I mean, this is just a weird channel to watch, and I'm sure it's cringe and creepy, creepy cringe, this dance I came up with. It's probably cringe and creepy and stuff, but sometimes to people, but it's also funny and weird and bizarre and entertaining, and you can't stop watching. Imagine a time in the future, say 6 months from now, I mean, there'll be like even more interesting videos and you'll want to watch more and more. Anyways, that's about all.